Weed Tour podcast. We are here with episode 23. I have special guest Sonya Wilner from Cannastarz Las Vegas. She is a experienced cannabis agent, having been in the industry for 4 years. Sonya, thank you so much for being on the show today. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. How are you?
I'm doing well. It's been another crazy day in the cannabis industry. Did you, by chance, spend some time at the shop today?
I didn't. Today was my off day.
Oh, I'm sorry to put you to work, but I very much appreciate you being here with us.
Thanks for having me.
Well, while we jump right in, Sonia, you mentioned a little off air that you've been in the industry for about 4 years now. Obviously, you're new here to the Respect My Region community, so if you wouldn't mind kind of introducing yourself and kind of explaining who you are and what you do in the industry, and then we can kind of go through. I got a bunch of other really good, juicy questions for the weed fans today.
All right. So I'm Sonia, guys. I've been in the industry for 4 years now. I moved here from New Orleans. I've lived in Vegas 3 times now. I'm a military brat, so I've moved all over. Now I'm back in the desert, and it's legal. It's recreational, so very happy about that. I immediately jumped right into the industry. I started off at Desert Grown Farms. It's a cultivation for a company called Essence out here. They're pretty large.
Mhm.
They have most of the dispensaries out here. So I started at their grow, and then realized I to the other side of uh, things, the sales side, which I really enjoy. And yeah, that's about it. I really enjoy working with cannabis and getting to meet really cool people from all over the world and help them find the right product for them. It's really satisfying.
I really appreciate that you have that kind of passion. I feel like when we first connected, gosh, it was a little over a month ago, and it was right before my birthday, actually. My friends and I, we popped out to Vegas. We went to 6 dispensaries in one day, and for the most part, we were pretty disappointed, with the exception of you and one other dispensary. I remember we told you, like, wow, not only do you know your stuff in cannabis, but you also are very good at customer service and what we felt is retail. And so for you to learn a little bit more about your background, desert grown cannabis was the cultivation you worked at. Um,
Farms.
Desert grown farms. Can you kind of elaborate on what you did at that farm and what a day was really like for you working at a weed farm?
Yes, absolutely. So initially, we all come in and we get suited from head to foot, literally, quite literally. Hair mask, gloves, scrubs, arm coverings, booties on your feet. And then we would go in and we would weigh, trim, package, flour. We do post harvest, so we would
Yep.
help sometimes cut down the flour or de-leaf, a lot of the sugar leaves and the fan leaves, we would take those off.
Yep.
Just uh, things to do, but mostly I did a lot of trimming and packaging.
So I know today you actually brought some of the different products that are available in Vegas. So since you did work on the packaging side and you trimmed and you were a part of this whole cultivation and processing side, would you mind showing us some of the products and some of the items that you guys have and offer at your dispensary as well?
Absolutely. So I was able to bring in an eighth of Starberry. This is actually Cannastar's, where I currently work, our home grow. So
Hmm.
this nice fresh eighth of Starberry. And this flower is incredibly sweet. Some of the sweetest flower I've ever smoked. Um,
Wow. So is that a star? That's just like a star dog, berry cross, blueberry cross. It is a more of a lemon. What would you say that cross is?
this is going to be, honestly, I don't know, and I don't want to pretend like I do. But
It's that super secret cut, the super special.
yeah, it is
I
so
love it.
fruity. The first
I
time I ever
like the
tried it,
density on that.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I like the density on it. It looks like a really, really, that's a big nub.
Yeah, so it's nice and dense. You definitely need a grinder for this guy. I tried it for the first time. I got a sample gram from my job, and I just was like, I'm going to roll it up into a joint. And when I smoked it, I could have sworn it was like an infused pre-roll. If I wouldn't have known that I just rolled up just a bud, that it didn't have some kind of concentrate in it, I was really impressed by that. Truly,
Wow.
it's very sweet. So I was really happy to get this. Also, this guy right here, strawberries and cream. So super excited to even smell this because no one at the shop has gotten to try this. This has been a R&D that the grow has done, and only the cultivation people have gotten to try this. So I'm the first dispensary agent at our store who's even gotten to open this up. So
Let's go. That's everybody. Wah, 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 wah. This is a Respect My Region exclusive. Cannastarz. Let's go. All right.
guys,
Look.
this smells like pina colada. This is really sweet.
Wow, it's beautiful.
Reason, but this is incredibly sweet, and it's beta pinene, alpha pinene, and my goodness, this
One of
looks
my
like it was
favorite
blast.
one of my favorite things about the Las Vegas industry is that for your guys' flower products and a lot of your guys' products, I think it's just across the board, is that you guys actually put the terpene profiles as part of your state requirements, right?
Yeah, yes,
So
and that's really important.
can you possibly read us the terpene profile on that one so that way the all the fans watching can understand that, like, yo, Vegas actually has some terpene weed?
Yes, so this has 4.8 milligrams of limonene, 2.44 milligrams of alpha pinene, and 1.54 milligrams of beta pinene, and it's testing at 21.566%. So
Wow.
to me, this just tells me it's going to be incredibly uplifting. It's going to help me focus. It's going to open up my airways. It's going to help with some inflammation. It just sounds like an awesome sativa to me, and I'm really excited to try this because I've had my eyes on this ever since it came through the door, and I was just waiting to actually get it in store.
Without further ado, as a guest, I think it's time for you to take a nice fat rip. I saw earlier you had the bong. I know you're ready. I think this is the one that's calling your name.
Oh yeah,
I
absolutely.
actually, while you were kind of doing your intro here, I typically start off with a pre-roll from us. And so for me, this is from Ember Valley. This is what their packaging looks like for their pre-roll, just a little Mylar. I'm working with the Kush Cream strain.
Nice.
22, it's a half gram pre-roll, 22.43%, total cannabinoids 27.21, packaged on May 10th. And Ember Valley is out of Redding. They're a Northern California group. It's the good old Redding boys up there. They turn up, they grow fire weed, they got dope people on their team, they grow hard, they go hard. Like, I don't know if that's a hashtag that they got, but they need it. Like, that one just came out. One just came off the dome because the Kush Cream has me kind of high already. It's good when the weed actually gets you high.
That's cool. We're both smoking something in cream. Strawberries and cream, cushion cream.
Oh yeah. All right, here we go. So Sonya, the way we do the taste test, one hit, we talk about it, what you taste, what you feel. Two hits, you talk about it again, anything different, worse, better, and then you give a score out of 10.
All right, I'm down.
All right, here we go. First Las Vegas review. Here we go, everybody. North American Weed Tour first, episode 23, everybody. Like, follow, subscribe. We've got Sonya Wilner in the building, outside in Vegas. Beautiful weather. Let's go. Bong rip.
Very earthy. Not as sweet as I was anticipating given the smell, but it gives me nostalgia. Like, when I blew it out, when it went through my nose, it reminded me of being a teenager again. I don't know why, but I like that. I usually like flower that gives me nostalgia. Reminds me of
Weed that hits you some kind of way that brings back those memories is a good thing, usually, if you're familiar with it, unless it's freaking you out, right?
yeah. No, this was a good nostalgia.
There
Yeah,
we go.
I really flavor, the effects. I feel the pressure in my face, so that's cool. I like that.
Okay. Okay. So the sativa's starting to have sativa effects. Now we got the second rip, everybody. This is J Ping's version of commentating. She rips it, the inhale, the exhale, big clouds, taking it all the way home, hitting her in the chest, and score out of 10, but just about the taste.
7. I'm not the biggest earthy fan. I like more stinky or cheesy, but that does
Okay.
taste nice, sweet,
Okay.
mostly earthy. So if
And
we're going off of taste, 7.
so a 7 on the taste. Now, when you went out, if you could hold up the packaging again and kind of give us a good little, experience with that. Now, when you describe the entire experience that you've had with the product, right, is there enough information on it for you? Do you feel like it really appeals to you or other people? Do you feel that the presentation is on point either in general or at the store, right? And obviously there's a little bias because you're at your own store, but all of these things are something that we consider as bud tenders, right? As we consider as consumers. So talk to me a little about your experience overall and some of the actual more materialistic kind of things.
So, experience, um, honestly, I really enjoy it. I feel like a little grin coming on. I like that. Presentation, um, it looks fabulous, truly. I wish that I had a better camera or better lighting so that you could truly see how light green this is and how keefy it is. It looks like it's just packed with keef. I feel like it should be in a jar. I feel like it looks so good, and the effects are that it should be in a jar. Now it is R&D, so this wasn't going on the sales floor, so that might be why they decided to just put it in the bag for just simple testing. But I feel like this would be good enough to put on the sales floor. I'm actually really impressed with this.
There we go. And to me, it's important. It's important that at the end of the day, the smoke, the quality, the experience ultimately shines through. I smoke a lot of weed in bags, smoke a lot of weed in jars. There's different costs and impact on the environment and on the business for both of those things. Plastic winds up in lots of landfills, glass doesn't. Glass costs more gas to get it to the shops and to transport it. So there's definitely gives and takes as to what kind of social impact we're really having as a brand or as a company. But to me, when you look past all that and we're just reviewing products for what they are, a 7 out of 10 on the taste, and do you have a score out of 100 for your overall grade for that whole product as a whole?
I would give it a 85 to 87. It's definitely
Nice,
it's a B plus.
nice. Nice, nice. All right. So before we get to any of the products that I have over here, because we already review a ton of California stuff, I'd love to just keep focus on you. So in between each of the items, I'd love to ask you a question about, what you kind of do in cannabis out there. And so for you guys, obviously Vegas, known for tourism, right? What is it like dealing with hundreds, if not thousands of customers that literally are buying weed for the first time?
So it is exciting. It truly is because um, when someone walks in front of me, I take full opportunity. They're there right now, and I can pour into them my knowledge and my experiences because I don't even assume that everyone who walks in front of me and is asking questions and looking at all of our products even consumes cannabis. I assume they don't, and that this might be the first time they've ever been in a dispensary or even smoked. So I am
Yeah.
sure we'll go through the whole process, find out, different ailments, their different experiences, and it's really exciting because truly you get to see people light up. Some people come in and they're scared. They feel like they're doing something illegal. Uh, it's very exciting, and no two consultations are the same, truly. So I always like to take that opportunity to educate them in just one way or the other. Some people are not open to it, and you can tell right off the get. And I don't, push. I'm not pushy. That's just not who I am.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
friendly. And so I make it known that I'm not here to intimidate you or make you feel stupid because you don't know everything about cannabis, that I am an open book and you can ask me what you would think are stupid questions because they're not stupid to me. I genuinely want to help people.
Yeah.
And I feel like I see that defense just fall down and they are a little open to asking questions that they might not have before. And it's awesome to make connections like that. I feel like I'm changing lives one consultation at a time.
Yeah, that's an important perspective to keep. I feel like as a bud tender, for a lot of people, it's oh man, I'm so tired of all these people asking for high THC this or oh man, they always ask for the same lame strains. They don't even really smoke good like that. There was an owner of a dispensary recently that was quoted having called, I'm just going to sell peasant weed to the peasants, and so it's like just because people buy $15 weed, $25 weed, $35 weed all the time, like that doesn't give people, I mean, okay, sure, everyone has the right to do whatever they want in this country, I guess, right? But like, to what extent do you get to belittle other people like that, right? Whether you're selling weed like that or whether it's just high THC or whether it's a price point thing or who cares, right? Like, just drives me nuts that people focusing on a lot of that kind of stuff. THC isn't everything. Terpenes are everything. Oh, this, oh, that. And it's like, man, there's so many different kinds of people that care or don't care. Like, stop being so pushy about everything. Like, let the people come and go as they are to some extent, you know?
Yeah. And you can tell. I mean, I'm already somebody who can read people pretty well to begin with, so this is an easier job for me. I mean,
Yeah.
I can tell when someone is wanting help from me, if they want information or if they just want to look at me, talk to. And either way, that's fine with me. I don't take it personal.
Yeah.
I will be as helpful as I can. If I can help them make a better decision for themselves, I will absolutely do that. I feel like that's wasted energy for me at all.
Yeah. Your education, your experience is best served to the people that appreciate it. And I feel like that's kind of how that generally goes as a bud tender. At least in my days, that's how it was. A lot of people didn't want to hear all the knowledge; they just wanted to get in and out. Even though they care about weed, they didn't care that much. Now, for you guys out there, you have a number of different products. We saw the first one, Indiscreet, right? And then we saw the strawberries and cream from your guys' one of your in-house brands, correct? And then what are some of the other products that you guys have available?
Sorry, I apologize I cut you off, but Indiscreet and Circle S are both our
Both.
house brands. Yeah.
There we go. I'm
I,
sorry about that. Yeah, both of you guys' brands.
I have a disposable vape. It is by Circle
Ooh,
S. It's called Cherry on Top. Now this one,
beautiful.
oh man. This was the first disposable pen that I tried by Cannastarz. And I'm not even gonna lie to you, I'm really not a vape pen girl unless it's like live resin, something like that, because I do have a higher tolerance. I'm a medical patient. I use a lot of cannabis, so typically this isn't something I would go for right off the bat. When I got it
But
as a sample, I'm sorry.
it looks like it's got a custom little battery there, though. That looks dope.
Yes.
All
So
right.
it has a nice, easy packaging, easy to open. You can put it right back in, and it has our brand stamped on it, the icon. This, I was so impressed with the flavor. Truly, it is botanical terpenes, and typically I don't like them, but I am a sucker for maraschino cherries. So I really enjoyed this one.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got a fair amount of myrcene in here, so it hits you nice and quick. You feel the pressure change in your eyes. You feel it just kind of like downloading over you. That's the way I feel the high come on with this. So I would,
Okay. I like that description.
yeah,
Okay. Okay.
flavor is phenomenal. And actually taste like this tastes a little different. It still tastes very, it doesn't have as strong as a maraschino cherry flavor. It has kind of, man, that's hard to put your finger on. Maybe like plum.
Okay.
Really good. I don't feel the effects just yet. The first one I got, I felt the pressure change in my eyes after 2 hits, and I was so impressed by that because distillate doesn't usually get me high.
Yeah.
Have
You really need the entourage of the various terpenes and what like that.
sorry, one more time.
You really need that entourage effect, right, of all the different terpenes since you use cannabis every day.
Yes. So this has 18.36 milligrams of mercury, 8.3 of cranial, and 4.66 of and 18.4 milligrams of it. And CBC, 16. Awesome. I love cannabinoids. So if I can get high and reduce inflammation and pain and all that good stuff, I have Crohn's disease. So inflammation is a really big thing that I have to tackle and keep under control daily. So I love to see that there's that amount of CBC and CBG and CBD in there. That's awesome.
The full offering of cannabinoids really does help your body actually start to activate and heal, actively heal. As you said earlier, to download all the proper things into your body would actually help it intake the right nutrients and be able to put out the right things as well. I myself also suffer from IBS and Crohn's, so I'm totally with you on the varieties, certain terpenes, certain cannabinoids, more importantly, actually having some big impact. So that disposable, what was the THC on the disposable?
THC. I usually don't even really pay attention to that. I apologize. I didn't even say it. It is at 88%. So all of those combined to me is a fantastic terpene or profile. Period.
Oh yeah,
That's
that's definitely potent enough to get the job done with those terpenes for sure.
oh yeah.
All right, well check this one out. I've got that shark, that's the shark one. There we go. Where's it at? The Shark Lottie.
Wow, that looks nice.
She's a beauty right there. All right, so I'm gonna do what I usually do here is I snap a piece off, get in there and get a good smell on the flower. Biscotti, classic, skunky, heavy, musky gas, right? Oh my gosh. I mean, let's get this back up there for the people. Oh my gosh. Look at that, guys. Wow. So Shark OG crossed with the Biscotti. I've got a little bit, I've got a bowl here. I'm gonna kind of like, let me see if I got my grinder. Here we go. Get the grind a bowl up. Do you want to grab what was that first flower strain you have? Do you want to load a bowl of that first one and we do a review of that one first before we get into the gummies and the beverage that you have?
Absolutely.
Perfect. All right, everybody, this is more of a review heavy episode. You know, Sonya, she smoked a lot of really good weed. I remember when I first met her, man, more confident than any of the other budtenders we spoke to. She was like, yo, the best, this stuff. If you're trying to save some money, this stuff. Like she's like, I can say confidently that this shit is gonna do it. It's gonna represent the store. And I'll be honest, anytime someone puts some Khalifa Kush in my hand, 9 times out of 10, it's gonna get me high. And it got me high. And it was delicious. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about right there. That's the infamous Khalifa Kush. That's the KK. Smoking on some KK, man. And that's your everyday life. Now, let me ask this question while you load that bowl up right there. When it comes to smoking wrapper weed, tell me about the different kinds of wrapper weeds you've smoked. I know Dizzy's out there, Dizzy Wright. You got Wiz Khalifa. Now you got all the cookies brands that are out there. Out of all the wrapper weed you've ever smoked, what have you enjoyed the most? What have been some highlights?
Ooh. So my favorite has been currencies. His flower, but unfortunately, you can't get it out here. Um, His flower is really. Every time I go to LA, I'm sure to get some. He's the homie, so I always gotta show some love. But out here, actually, Gakua. I hope I'm not butchering that, but it's Lil Wayne's strains. I've seen Finn and Tangy Gold.
Did you just say Jakua? Oh my
Yes,
gosh.
it's JKUA.
That is so funny to me. That is awesome. Sorry, I just had apparently, even though we charged the camera, it apparently just wanted to shut off out of nowhere. So we're gonna make the pivot. Here we go. So Jakua, I think it's G. Not to correct you, but I think they have it out here, but it's GQ or GKUA, right? And then Lil Wayne, they have vapes, they got flour. It's good weed in Vegas.
Yeah, man, let me tell you what. I really wanted to try the Durban because it had, 20 milligrams of terpinolene, 11 of osamine. And terpinolene, osamine, and myrcene are my, holy trinity. I love those. And it
Wow.
sold out like that. I didn't even get a chance to grab any. And I recently just tried the Gold Tangy or Tangy Gold. Man, smelled and tasted a lot like head cheese, which is a really popular strain out here by Polaris.
Yeah.
Grow it at least. Um, really stinky. It smelled like armpits, cheese, and oranges. It smelled freaking awesome. And the high, I'm not even, before I could even blow it out, I felt it just come over me. It was fabulous. Fabulous.
Wow.
And I'm not one to just rant and rave about stuff. Like, you've really got to, pack the punch. That was awesome. I would give that a 10 out of 10.
Man, I hope Jakua sees this, man. I hope Jakua sees this because that ain't no disrespect. Like I got mad respect to their cultivation partner out here, but I haven't seen Jakua really perform like that out here. And so to hear you say such positive things about what they're doing there, it does make me very excited to go. I gotta go drip check then. I gotta see what's good.
You have to, I'm telling you. I don't know what they're doing out here that's different, but the Tangy was super crystally beautiful, light green. Open up the jar, it just smells like you opened up a pound in the room. It was awesome. And
That's
honestly,
incredible.
there for a couple months before I tried it, and the moisture in it was perfect. It wasn't dry at all, and it is incredibly hard to keep flower moist out here, even in an open jar. A lot of times you'll get flour from the dispensary and it's dried already, just dust. You put it in the grinder and it just completely just dissolves, and that was awesome. I was really impressed, and I didn't expect too much out of it. I'd never heard of it, for one, and two, I don't put a ton of hype, like I don't buy into the hype. Just because it's rapper weed doesn't mean it's going to be the best ever, because for the
Absolutely.
like KK, I feel like recently they have really stepped their game up, but initially I was not. I'm just being honest. So now I get to buy an eighth of it, but the Jakua, awesome.
Dang, there we go. Jakua, I hope you guys are listening. We got a fan. So now we're gonna go back to smoking that original strain that you pulled from Discreet. What?
Barberry.
Yeah, that a beautiful note, the Starberry. There we go. Now I've definitely smoked some Star Dog in the past and some other berry kind of strains, and that definitely looks like a Starberry if I've ever seen it. So let's go through the taste test process again. Here we go. One hit, we're gonna talk about it. Two hits, a score out of 10. Here we go.
Right.
I'll smoke with you too. Here we go.
Just like the first, tasted like Fruity Loops.
So that two people smoking fireweed is dying. I love it. All right, so for you, what is that? Like Fruit Loop cereal? That's got to be like a light piney, a light sweet and creaminess, right?
Yeah.
And what kind of berry taste did you get?
Strawberry.
Mm.
Would you taste in this one? But no, yeah, I taste strawberry and big time Fruit Loop taste, like cereal. That tastes.
Big Fruit Loop.
I really
Love
like
it.
it. The first time I smoked it, it tasted like an infused pre-roll. It was highly impressive.
And so that kind of strain, when you say it hits you like an infused pre-roll, what kind of high was that for you?
The taste, the high did not give me the infused pre-roll high, but
Mm.
taste was almost concentrated. The high, uh, pressure in the face, stony but motivated.
You
Definitely.
have you are an experienced sativa smoker. The way that you describe your sativas are very intricate compared to just most people's descriptions for sativas. I stopped smoking them a couple years ago for the most part because in LA it's OG Kush, gelatos, and exotic and designer weed all the time. But I miss sativas. So you're definitely inspiring me to get back into the sativa game. All right. So the other products that you have there, you're wearing a select shirt. You said earlier you've got a select gummy, right? And then you've got the canned beverage. There we go.
Yes.
So
I'm gonna
this is where we get to the fun stuff because I actually eat edibles every day, and I generally buy beverages almost every time I visit a dispensary. So for you, which one would you like to start off with?
the can.
There we go. I feel like we got to open that up, taste it, and then we can finish the bowl and finish the final score on the bowl.
So, ooh, wow. Ginger lemongrass, 5 milligrams. Hi, boy. I like it. I like uh, the not super strong flavors. I don't drink soda because of my Crohn's. I drink water and tea all day long. Like I don't. If I have something sweet, it's like a all natural fruit juice or something. But this is really tasty. The ginger is the perfect amount of sweetness, and then the lemongrass is that really good, just lemony, fresh. This is an awesome summertime drink. Or sitting by the pool, This is
I'm happy that you like it because remember I held off from telling you about it earlier, but when I did my review on that one, I drank it and I was like, wow, this is really good. And then I did a bigger gulp and I was like, okay, I think I could drink this whole can at once.
that's tasty. I really like that. I will be
Yeah.
that's delicious.
I do have a guilty habit of still drinking Sprite and Sierra Mist on occasion because with tacos that's the classic. So for me, when I saw that that was not only 5 milligrams but also like like a ginger ale or like a Sprite, like a healthier version of that, I was like, oh my gosh! And when you read the ingredients, there's not a lot of sugar in it, and the most of the ingredients are very simple. They're not a lot of crazy chemicals or all these different things.
None actually. It's all natural. This is
Yeah.
cool. I didn't look at that.
Yeah, I'm
Uh,
real big. I'm real big on the ingredients because again, with the IBS and Crohn's, right? If that had more sugar, then you wouldn't even consider drinking it. And so it's one of those things where when these companies actually consider stuff like that, it's very inclusive, even though it seems like it's restrictive to some extent for the people that, I only want to drinking 100 milligrams, 100 milligrams, 1,000 milligram tinctures. Just like, I can't do any of that. I can't function with that. My body doesn't react with that well. I can smoke and I can, but not that.
might have something to do with the absorption issues. I mean, I feel like it truly does affect me and other people like me who have similar issues differently. Um,
Mhm.
I eat edibles daily. I don't take any medicine for my Crohn's. And so this is like a treat for me, truly, because I eat RSO. It's carb free, calorie free, sugar free, multiple servings, full spectrum. Um, for me, that's the best option. Price, everything, every factor that I can think of, that's the best option for me. So these are awesome treat. It's not something that I would do every time. Like I said, because of the sugar, it's counterintuitive. You know, my body doesn't tolerate sugar normally, and 99% of vegetables, at least in Nevada market, are sugary. So if I'm trying to help with pain, you know, I'm also hurting my body to relieve the pain. So it is difficult. And when I realized RX was to go for me, I really had that. It's been a really successful trip for me. I've really gotten to control my Crohn's a lot more by exercising, diet, and RSO.
Yeah.
Really changed my life.
Water, exercise. I have this over here to the side. I started doing the plant-based smoothies and trying to survive a little bit more on the liquid diet just because of what we go through every day with either pain or cramping and the how hard it is, at least in this, you know, like it's crazy. It's like living in the States, we do have access to more and more food, but we have incredibly easy access to the worst kinds of things. And so, and the most addictive in a lot of ways as well. And so the Sprite habits or the sugar habits for me, big problem. But weed actually allows me to focus in on that and actually maintain like a higher discipline. And so I think where I get a bad habit is smoking a lot of gelatos and OG Kushes that make me not focus in on the things that I need to be doing all the time. I need to get back to the damn sativas.
I sit here on my high horse while you talk about your Sprite addiction, and I have a French fry addiction like no other. Oh my god! So on that, I will.
Hey, cheers! Hey, I can. You drink your weed. I'll vape some terps to that. There we go.
Yeah,
that's hilarious. So, all right, Sonia, we got the second rip. We're going for the final score on the review, the taste test review for this brand. Here we go.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. That tastes awesome. It's burning correct. Give that a 99. And that's just off that tastes really good. I wish this wasn't over the phone because impressed as well. That tastes awesome. And that's what I thought the first time. That was very consistent.
It's important that throughout the smoking process we do see consistency, right? The first hit, the second hit. Yeah. When I smoke blunts or joints, I don't usually do the bong stuff myself. I roll up joints for all my reviews. Or I very rarely roll a blunt, but I gave up the tobacco. I hate hemp blunts. But I try to do one hit, talk about it, 2 hits, score out of 10, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits, I say score out of 100. Because if it's really fire or if it's harsh, you're going to want to hit it a few times to really figure it out. So I don't like to restrict the reviews to just a couple. Like, if you smoke the rest of that and you feel like that's a horrible experience, like, guess what? People smoke bowls in 3 rips. That's a thing.
Yeah. I've been holding myself back, so I will keep hitting this and giving you more information along the way. But I still feel like that was a good one, even the third.
Hey, and that's all that matters. Over here, this is what the Shark Lottie came in, right? We've got Cam. I was told today that this is a women-owned, women-cultivated brand. And this particular strain coming in at 31.67 THC, 37.16 total cannabinoids. Harvest date on August 4th. And again, this is a hybrid. So to me, I mean, I like the packaging. Does it really stand out and pop? Not in LA, unfortunately, I don't believe, with like, all this crazy colors and cartoon packaging and stuff. But if this were in Seattle, yeah, 100%. I'm looking at this. If I'm shopping with my mom, I'm probably looking this direction as well. So what are your thoughts on this from afar, having never seen this before?
I've never seen it. If that was in Vegas, that would sell immediately. Vegas is really big on the not like the stoner look. Like, for example, you can't even have any kind of pictures or artwork with someone actively smoking. You will get a fine by the state. Like, they want it to be um, really low key, more like spa like. They want everything to
Yeah.
be fancy, medicinal, not exactly the culture that got it to where it's at, you know? So they wanted
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
recreate the wheel almost. So I feel like that would stand out really well here. It looks earth environment friendly. It looks like medicine. I feel
Yeah,
like
I feel like that's a softer. It's a softer edge for the tourist, right? It's a softer edge for that economy that they're protecting, probably, right?
yeah, oh yeah. They didn't want weed to be legal here. Excuse me, cannabis. They pushed it against that for a long time, and a lot of that was the casinos because, uh, you know, if you're spending your money on cannabis, you're not spending it at the slot machines or at the poker tables, and so
Yeah.
they lobbied against it big time, and it took a long time. And now that it's, you know, up and running, incredibly illegal to have cannabis in the anywhere near a casino. You can't have it delivered to any kind of casino. You can't have any tobacco or alcohol mixed. So you'll never buy anything in Vegas, Nevada, that was rolled in an actual cigar leaf. It has to be the hemp wraps and
Yeah.
things of that nature. So, you know, it's still very developing, if I had to put it, developing, because a lot of people still don't know how they feel about it. Um, I feel like there's just so much room for growth out here and opportunity, truly. I'm really excited to see where it'll be in 10 years from now. Interested, honestly, because there are so many people that have interest in this and have a stake in it. And it's the same people who lobbied against it too. Like,
Yeah.
the first company I worked for, the owner of that was the owner of the Tropicana Casino. So it's like he was smart and he saw where there was money to be made. He had to pull himself out of the casinos legally. It was a father and son business. They owned it for years, and he had to pull himself out of that to be in cannabis because, like I said, it is a total. You cannot have gambling with cannabis or with alcohol as far as cannabis. No alcohol and cannabis. Obviously, you can have alcohol and gambling, but um, yeah. So how the culture out here um, is, because obviously we know that cannabis hasn't always been, you know, fancy dispensaries and legal and profitable and looked at in pleasant terms like it is out here now. You know, a lot of times it was frowned upon and you were discriminated against and judged for it. It's just, it's so crazy out here. You know, it's
Yeah.
places like California or Oregon or Colorado where it's just more openly accepted. It's still kind of taboo out here.
Yeah. I noticed that as well. I was actually recently handcuffed and whatnot. The weekend that you and I met at that later on in the evening, about 2 a.m., went for a walk, smoking a joint for I don't even remember where I was, but the yeah, ended up getting cuffed because they thought that this fake dab was meth.
And see, you know, that's understandable because out here, that is a really big issue.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's extreme handcuffing, but maybe not in a situation where if that would have been, you know,
Yeah.
they never know what they're dealing with. And I'm glad that you made it out of that okay. I mean, that could have gone.
Yeah, it actually escalated because around my neck I had THCA diamonds in a dab container, and so then they went from seeing, oh, this isn't meth, this is yellow, and then they were like, well, open the other thing up around his neck, and then it's like, oh, no, that's not meth either, but you're gonna need to Google THCA diamonds. So thank God for one officer being slightly more progressive and lenient than the others, because he pulled out his phone and he Googled it,
Yeah.
and thankfully stuff came up that looked exactly like what I had around my neck. Thank God. And so, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely a sign of the times that, you can be smoking a joint. I literally had this much of a joint, like when it's going out and you just walk, and you're just like, all right, I'm not going to throw it on the ground. I'm just going to like put it out real quick and then go throw this away. And it's like, that's when we walked out and turned onto the strip at that moment. And they must have seen or smelled it because it was still burning or whatever. Looked at me, this next thing I know, one hand was cuffed and bam, wham, bam. Thank you, ma'am. Here we go. Had 4 officers surrounded me quick, man. It was crazy.
Yeah. And because
Vegas.
they don't know what they're dealing with. They don't know what they're
I
dealing
said, I said, this is legal, officer. I said, I'm allowed to have this on me in the first. This is a cannabis product. Like at the end of the day, like have fun testing me and taking me to the place because I have not done anything wrong. And but needless to say, they were doing their jobs, and out of respect to the tourism industry there, that is an important part of what has helped build a lot of lives there, a lot of careers, a lot of people survive on that. And so I can totally understand the importance of why they'd want to separate it. Number two, cannabis is not federally legal; those other things are. So until that is changed, we'll see them separated for until further notice, right? Um, simple as that. Now, for your select gummies, we have. I don't unfortunately have any reviews to do for like edibles or anything, but I am going to take a dab while you talk to us a little bit about this whole select gummy situation you've got going on over there.
All right. So this is their new line of nano extraction. If I can open this bag, my goodness, this is childproof. God. All right. So this is what a gummy looks like. These are 5 milligrams, so they're kind of microdose. Typical serving is about 10 milligrams. I like the fact that they're nano extraction. They go into the bloodstream versus going through the liver, so you get a more bioavailability, faster delivery. Like
Okay. So for the texture, what would you describe the texture as? And then is that a gelatin gummy or is that a pectin gummy?
this is definitely gelatin. It's chewy. The texture is good for gelatin. I say that because I'm not typically the biggest fan of gelatin. I'm a texture person. And if it's really chewy, I can't swallow it.
Can you hit us with the squeeze test on the camera and then pull it apart so we can see this? Oh, there we go. All right, look at that squishiness. Okay, that looks a little gelatiny, and when it's stretchy like that, that's typically gelatiny too. So there we go. Okay, okay, but it tastes good, right? It's passing the taste test, right? It tastes good.
Yes, it's sour blues, so I like blue. It's just sour blue gummy, I guess. Oh no, sorry. There's pictures of blueberry.
Oh, it's blueberry and lemon.
Tastes really good, actually. It's hard to hide the flavor of cannabis in gummies. I find there's just nowhere to hide it, But this doesn't taste terrible. It tastes pretty good. I'm not a big gummy. I'll eat them every time, but I like baked goods. I'm not big on the gummy flavor.
Do you feel do you and this might be a bit personal, you can choose to pass on this, no problem either way, but for gelatin gummies, does that kind of impact your cannabis patient side of things? Is having it be gelatin versus pectin, having it be a vegan or gluten-free gummy versus not?
Yes. So honestly, I feel like at this point, why are you putting gelatin in your edibles? Because you're literally cutting yourself off from a group of people who want to buy your product but don't, because there's horse hooves in this and pig snouts, and I get it. I get it. That's not a reason for me to. I uh, do eat meat. I eat fish and chicken about a couple times a week. I don't eat any pork or beef because of my digestion, not because of my feelings on eating meat. But I just find it's kind of silly at this point when you can use fruit pectin. I get it. Some people don't like the texture of fruit pectin, and it doesn't hold up, I find, as long as gelatin does. The shelf, you start turning.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that.
Um, but honestly, I feel like at this day and age, if you put this into your edibles, you're just blocking yourself from like, it's like you're
Yeah.
not to give them away for free or just make a bunch of products that no one wants to buy.
Yeah, and the pectin version or the agar version of that, either way, whether it's more chewy or more textured or whatever the wording is for these jellies or these gummies, just getting away from the gelatin, I think, is the key. And so I know that I know that Select they do a lot of great work. I've nothing for the most part but positive things to say about them, but over time, I'm definitely excited to see them drop other products and to drop new SKUs that are more innovative and I would say on par with where food is going for consumers.
Yes, I agree. I'm starting to see more and more edible products in various forms. Um, the nano extraction. Excuse me. I've seen seasoning out here, and you have to understand Nevada is light years behind Oregon and California and all these other legal states. So I'm talking about these like they're not, like Gakua or how I know. I apologize. I've
Yeah.
already heard about them. They are because we're just kind of getting things started. So
Yeah. Which
diff-
which that kind of leads me to my next question, which we have on the kind of on the board to talk about, which is your sister store at Cannastarz does delivery, you were saying, right?
yeah,
So can you kind of talk to us about how Vegas is kind of set up in terms of the dispensaries and the delivery services and about 420 Sahara as well?
yes, absolutely. So in Nevada, you have to have a private residence to be able. Well, you have to be at a private to be able to have a delivery. They just require your your photo ID, um, and it's nice. Have pretty low delivery fees or free delivery if you spend X amount. Um, I know a lot of them honor whatever kind of discounts you would get if you were in person as well. So it's very convenient. When the pandemic happened, delivery and curbside became a whole new venue and a whole new line for these dispensaries to make money. Whereas before they weren't really utilized as much. People didn't really get deliveries as often or did
Yeah.
curbside. Now you can't have enough people staffed to do these various jobs because people realize, hey, I can order cannabis and I don't have to leave my home or get out of my pajamas. Yippee! It's really convenient.
Yeah.
Um, I really am excited because we are talking about doing delivery at Cannastar's. They were hesitant on it at first because it is a larger tourist uh, population that comes in, given our location. We're right by Fremont. But there are a good amount of locals. And so, given that we're a new business, we haven't even been open for a year.
Hmm.
We're rolling out new incentive programs, developing new deals. We're getting new flour in, just like the strawberries and cream. So we're up and coming and developing new things daily. So I have no doubt that we're going to have the delivery, and we're actually in the works of getting our lounge open in the back. So we have,
Hey, there we go.
yeah, you're going to be able to buy and then consume. There's only one consumption lounge open for the entire city of Las Vegas. So
Yeah.
where do tourists consume? The majority of the people buying this, where are they supposed to consume legally? Because you're supposed to be on a private residence.
Yeah.
So having a lounge is going to be huge for us because now someone will have a safe place to smoke their joint or do their dab, their edibles, and it just creates a whole new type of service and job. It's really exciting. And that's going to be
Absolutely.
for a bunch of dispensaries. A whole bunch of licenses were distributed for the lounges. So it's going to be a great thing for Vegas.
That's going to be very exciting. As someone who visits there often for whether it's music events or conventions or business in the past, I can tell you this that after experiencing the police in the last my last trip there for absolutely no real reason at the end of the day, other than me wearing a fake prop around my neck. It's wild that there isn't a place that I can safely go, and so I, for one, am very excited to have somewhere that I can go do my videos at. I can just relax at for a little bit. We can do puffcos and rosin and take some dabs, eat some edibles, drink some can there, all the things. It's a standard to be able to go do that. It's weird being in. I actually don't like going to Vegas that much because of that aspect. Now I'm kind of bored with the fact that I can really only go to a restaurant and go drink. And now, again, if I really stay disciplined and because I'm inspired not to drink soda right now, it's like, what can I really drink at a restaurant? It's like I just go eat and I drink water everywhere. It's like, what does someone like, what do people like us really do out there besides, we can't smoke and vape inside the places. It says the hotels, every hotel I've been in explicitly, they all have signs and they all have and they don't have the smoking icon anymore. It's a marijuana leaf
Straight up.
first as the icon, and then it says no smoking, this, that, the other, and marijuana. It's like, fuck, man. Like, where am I supposed to go? You want me to just walk out on the parking lot? Do I go off the whole site? And then if you ask half the people, they just are like, I don't know, man. You just go wherever. It's Vegas. Just like
Dangerous too, truly, because you've been there are all types of people that are going to encounter, especially down by Fremont. You need a safe place to consume. I mean, all different types of people smoke cannabis and consume cannabis. So all different types of people need that safety. I mean, you're providing product. You also should
yeah.
provide a safe place for them to use that product. Otherwise, you're not going to have people to continuously buy it. All it takes, if you were anybody else, that experience could have completely traumatized you and turned you away from it. One ever smoking, maybe coming to Vegas, spending your money at a dispensary. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. It's just, yeah, you might. Well, no, they were alerted by you because you had been smoking. I was just
Most
thinking,
like, I mean, most likely, yeah. I mean, that's the thing though, is it's like I wasn't when where were we staying? It was Bally's. That's where I was staying. So the area between Bally's hotel entrance and the strip, the true strip walking on it, right? That walkway that's on the road, right? That's where they saw me. So I'm just like walking around closer to the Bally's entrance, which is like a lot of just shops that are closed. And so where we smoked for the most part wasn't there. It wasn't until, like I said, I put it out and started walking, looking for a trash can because where I'm from in Seattle, I'm just trying not to litter. You know what I mean? That's just some Seattle mentality. So it's just like I was just trying to just walk towards a trash can and towards the next hotel entrance, throw some shit away, and then here I go. They just walked up and cuffed me straight away and treated me like I was a drug dealer at 2 a.m. And so it's just like I could only imagine if I told my grandma this. I was like, I could only imagine if my grandma or my mom had been with me, and I really didn't break any laws except for smoking on the strip. Which does that warrant being cuffed? And so, like I said, depending on what I looked like, I'm sure things could have been very drastically different, or how had I reacted more poorly than I initially did. So it's just one of those situations I hope to never be involved in, and it definitely makes me not want to smoke weed in Vegas very often, for sure.
not what they want you to spend money, but sorry, I'm looking for the bit that I lost.
The weed works. The terpenes works.
Yeah, right. Here we go.
There we go. There we go. Do you have some dabs there? What are those?
Matrix. Now, let me tell you about Matrix. They're awesome.
Here we go. I like it. I like dabs. I'm a dabber myself.
I have some batter. I have some live sugar, live resin. My apologies. Their flavors are always awesome. They have a strain called Sugar Tits that is phenomenal, and Dream Queen. Um,
Dream Queen is going to be your profile that you like. That's that terpenoline, pinene, the haze, all that good stuff. You know what I mean?
up, and then I linalool. I love linalool. I do.
Yep.
It's so good for. I have bad anxiety, so while I love the sativa, I also get anxiety too, and it's just something I know that I accept it at this point. I'm able to deal with it a lot better because I embrace it now, but sometimes I do need, some CBD or some linalool, something to just counterbalance that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Linalool, I do. Clementine and Royal Mandarin right here.
Wow, those are beautiful right there. Can you tilt it down just a little bit? Ooh, there we go. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Yeah, that's beautiful. The terps right there is a nice, beautiful little glossy layer on that one, and then the other one is the live resin sugar in your right hand, right? There we go.
End of this, and I'm sorry here.
Oh, it's all good. Oh yeah, just some classic live resin sugar there. I love it. I love it. I was dabbing on some rosin. I do not remember the strain, to be honest, just some live rosin. But let's before we get you out of here, I've got a couple pop shot questions, and then I've got one final one that's about your first time smoking. So for you, you've been dabbing, you're a smoker, you're a bud tender. I'm sure you've tried and reviewed so many products to help them figure out what they should carry in the store. I'm gonna just a couple quick one hot take questions. Do you have a preference of live resin versus rosins, or live rosin specifically?
I love GLP's grape pie.
Yep.
Man, try it. Fabulous. Love rosin. I love them all. I like the high flavor, but
Yep.
I have high tolerance, so I need that serious strength, and you get that with the rosin every time.
For sure, for sure. For now, the next part of it, gummies or chocolates?
Ooh, chocolate.
Ooh, I like your style on that one. And then, do you prefer the seltzers or like true sodas in terms of the beverages?
Uh, I like them both. I like the seltzers, but I find that I can get usually 100 milligrams. I know we were talking about this, 100 milligrams in the juices.
Yeah.
Either way, I
There,
drink them.
you would sacrifice flavor on the seltzers to get 100 milligrams in those. That's for sure.
Yeah, literally, like no shame. Yeah.
Yeah. And for the last question I have for you, are you interested or able to share what it was like, your first time smoking or that initial story?
Yeah, first time I smoked, it was outside of my 8th grade school dance, and I, jeez Louise, I was smoking with a group of friends in a bush out of a can, and man,
Classic.
like a freight train. I remember going in and the lights and the bass and just sitting down on the floor and just rocking back and I was hooked after that. My God. I mean, I was obviously blazed out of my mind. And yeah, I fell in love. Truly. I fell in love.
I
Changed.
abs I absolutely love that. That is great. So many different stories start off with dances with a group of friends in a bush, behind a tree, with a can.
Yeah.
I That is so hilarious. I love it. I love it. For me, it's very similar to. I remember the first. I told this story the other night, but I got my friend and I got caught when I was 17 at a park right as they were closing it up at a gate, and it was with my mom's weed. And thank God the cop called my mom because we got stuck with the weed as we were rolling it up, and they pulled up to close the gate. So it's just like my friend ran, and here I am with all the shit.
Oh
I'm
God.
just like, yo, this is my mom, and I just immediately was like, yo, this is my mom's weed. This is her car. Run everything. Call her. She gonna answer, and I'm gonna straight up say like, yo, we were about to smoke weed for our first time, and this guy, because of where I lived, did not believe it. Where I'm from in Kent, he did not believe it. He was like, there's no way this is your first time. You guys are here. You're smoking weed. Blah blah blah. And my mom answered and straight up said that the shit was hers. And because it was her medical stash. I reached under the seat of her car and there was a stash of weed there.
Yeah.
So my friend and I tried it for the first time and we didn't even get to smoke it. And that's the true story of the first one. And then college was a 3-perk, triple perk bong, big one Thursday night. And similar to you, sat down on the floor and listened to music.
Yeah.
Until like 3, 4 a.m. and it just was hooked. Never again was my life the same.
Don't you wish you could get high like you could when you first started smoking? Oh my God.
I do. I feel like our brain had an overload of just so much creative inspiration and potential, but at the same time, I feel like that initial shock opened up. It was basically just the door opening up, the wave. Like you said, it downloading earlier. I really like that word of how highs can come over you because for me, it's like my brain was not being activated in a whole new thing plugged into it and then downloaded, and like all of a sudden I was able to become the best version of myself in a lot of ways. So cannabis.
When you drop ink into water and you just watch it just slowly work its way through. That's a lot of times how when I smoke large amounts of it. It feels like it's just like dying in water, like downloading over me. That's the only way I can really describe it. But it's a feeling like no other. Awesome.
Can totally relate. A lot of the strains, a great gelato for me, a great like for me, Dutch Treat was one of my original favorite strains. Dutch Treat is like a I don't even know what the actual crosses are, but super sweet, sour, and piney to the point where it's almost gassy. Like, and it just used to get my heart racing, and I in my head I was able to get organized and produce, and then we write and blog with our publication. I used to be able to write and talk and present or do multiple things at the same time and practicing that skill because a cannabis was like it was like being able to be on a limitless almost, you know what I mean, like the old initial times of smoking. It was crazy. Oh, did we lose you? Are you still there? Oop, oop, oop. Sorry, everybody. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties. I was hoping we would be able to just bring her right back on. Let me see what we can do real quick. In the meantime, this was episode 23 of the North American Weed Tour podcast. We have Sonya Wilner, a dispensary agent from Cannastarz Dispensary in Las Vegas. Cannastarz is located across the street from the Pawn Stars dispensaries that you guys might have seen on the History Channel over the last 10 years or so. So I definitely recommend that if you guys visit Las Vegas to go check that out. They have a great knowledgeable staff, in my opinion. We visited, we spoke with numerous people. My friends and I all kind of visited separately, and it was a great time. So they had really solid products. I definitely recommend giving them the opportunity to come check things out. Unfortunately, though, it does look like we are not going to be able to bring her back on right now. So I do want to thank Sonya for being on tonight as our special guest. Thank you to Cannastarz for helping to provide some of the products for us to showcase on tonight's show. Again, everybody, this is the North American Weed Tour podcast. My name is Joey J. Ping. This is Respect My Region. We have 57 more episodes to go on our podcast between December and now. So I believe we're going to be going until December 15th, maybe the 20th or so. So please be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. We will definitely bring Sonya back on down the road. We want to tap back in with some more reviews and some more new product updates. So again, Sonya, thank you so much. Everybody, I appreciate you guys for tapping in. I'm going to go ahead and sign out, and we will revisit with Sonya and the Cannastarz team down the road. Thank you, everybody. Please do, again, like, follow, subscribe, and share this episode, and be sure to follow the website each and every day. I'll see you all on the next one, aka tomorrow. Have a good night, everybody.